Oat milk is a lie. The oat milk market is on track to outgrow the fresh cow milk market. In fact, the entire oat milk market is set to be worth $6.45 billion by 2030 alone. Soon, fresh cow's milk will be nothing but a relic.
Thank you. I can see you gurgling, you disgusting fat. Get off the stage.
But is it really a good thing? In this video, we'll be outlining the lies that oat milk marketing has sold you, and just how dangerous these lies can be. Stick around until the end, and you might just save yourself from some intense hospital bills. Claim to fame. Oat milk has been around for longer than you think, going as far back as the early 1990s. Swedish food scientist Dr. Rickard Oste first concocted oat milk as a way to create a nutritious and sustainable milk alternative. After realizing that oat milk might just be the next big milk alternative on the market, Rickard Oste and his brother, Bjorn Oste, co-founded Oatly, and they wasted no time. Oat milk soon started popping up in Swedish markets in 1995, all while Oatly was working behind the scenes to perfect and refine their oat milk recipe. Soon enough, Oatly was all over the European market, and then eventually all over the world. Now, this popularity didn't happen magically overnight. Oatly wouldn't have the reach that it does today without a genius marketing plan. Before oat milk, every other milk alternative sought to be just as good as regular old cow milk. But Oatly wanted to flip the script. Oatly wanted to sell you the idea that oat milk is better than cow milk, and they did it every chance they could. Oat milk claims that it's healthier, tastes better, and even feels better than regular cow's milk. But their biggest selling point has to be the environmental impact that drinking oat milk has. Now, it's true, all of these points make it sound like oat milk really is a gigantic leap forward in the milk market. But sadly, not all of it may be true. Let's break down how oat milk milked the milk market. Less nutritious. Don't let the nutritional facts and corporate doctors and scientists fool you. Oat milk has been, and always will be, less nutritious than cow's milk. No baby, animal or not, has ever grown big and strong without drinking fresh milk. And this is because of a few key differences. First, oat milk has a much lower protein content than cow's milk. Protein is essential for muscle growth, repair, and overall bodily functions. Omitting cow's milk from your diet and completely replacing it with oat milk can lead your body to have a protein deficiency, which can lead to an overall weaker body. And to make matters worse, the protein in oat milk isn't even complete. Oat milk protein lacks all the essential amino acids that facilitate muscle maintenance in our body, so that protein content in oat milk may as well just be nothing at all. Second, cow's milk is also naturally more nutritious than oat milk. Oat milk, without any of the additional nutrition additives, should only naturally have 5 nutrients all in all. Meanwhile, cow's milk has a whopping 13 nutrients, all of which are essential to the maintenance and growth of your body. Although nowadays most oat milks are artificially fortified with these same nutrients, the density of these additives can never compare to the real thing. But one of the biggest nutritional lies that oat milk slings has to be added oils. One of oat milk's claims to fame is how amazing it is when frothed up for your daily cup of coffee. Oat milk is silkier than any other milk alternative, making it the best non-dairy favorite for your local cafe. But this silky finish doesn't happen naturally. Oat milk, when based off of the nutritional label, is much lower in fat content compared to fresh cow's milk. I'm not throwing shade on nutrition labels, but it isn't all about the amount of fat in the milk. The type of fat also matters. Now, you may be wondering, if oat milk is just blended oats in water, then why should there be any fat in the first place? The answer: texture. Oatly, the leading oat milk brand in the world, mixes in oils during their blending process to emulsify and give their oat milk the creamy texture that we know and love. This is a common additive to oat milk done by all oat milk brands, but the difference for some brands is in the type of oil that they use. Oatly blends in copious amounts of canola oil into their oat milk recipe. Canola oil, one of the cheapest neutral cooking oils in the market, is also considered to be one of the unhealthiest oils. This is because of the presence of omega-3 fatty acids that contribute to inflammation and other health issues. The production of canola oil also often involves hydrogenation to increase shelf life, resulting in the formation of harmful trans fats. Sadly, this isn't even the most harmful additive that oat milk has: added sugars. If you've ever tried making oat milk at home, you may be surprised to find that your oat milk isn't as sweet and palatable as the ones you get off the shelf. And no, this isn't because Oatly just added a heaping spoonful of sugar to the mix. To really understand why oat milk tastes as sweet as it does, we need to take a really close look at the oats used. Oats, as with all plants, are filled with starch, just waiting to burst out. This starch is connected by small links of sugar that we won't feel until it reaches our stomach. Oat Milk Solution, a little protein additive called amylase. Amylase is added to the oat milk to digest the starch in oat milk before it even reaches your stomach, unlinking all the sugars and releasing that sweetness into the oat milk. Now, this may sound like a healthy way to sweeten up your oat milk, but it isn't. The chemical reaction induced by amylase causes the release of maltose sugars. Maltose sugars are considered a health hazard for anyone with diabetes because of the quick spike in blood sugar levels it can cause. To put it into perspective, drinking a regular cup of oat milk may have the same effect as drinking a can of Coca-Cola. But legally, Oatly doesn't have to put sugar into their ingredient list and nutrition label. They could just as easily get away with saying they added amylase and call it a day. Luckily for consumers, other companies called out Oatly's no added sugar claim and pushed Oatly to list down the sugars produced by the amylase reaction.
I'm not some weak-kneed crybaby that goes around apologizing all the time. And why the would you want me to be?
Commercial, Roger, go to commercial.
Talk about sleazy business practice. Environmental harm. Perhaps the biggest selling point that oat milk has is that the production of oat milk has a significantly smaller effect on the environment. Oat milk manufacturers argue that cow's milk is an industry that is slowly killing the planet because of its massive CO2 emissions and land occupation. As much as the oat milk industry has lied to us, there's actually some truth to this claim. Oat milk requires significantly less processing and less land allotment to grow the oats needed to supply the globe's demands. But as with every one of oat milk's claims, there's a catch. Oatly, being the pioneer of oat milk, actually caught a lot of flack in 2020 when consumers found out that the Blackstone group of companies had acquired a stake in the company. This acquisition led to discussions and debates in the media and among consumers due to Blackstone's involvement in various industries, including those that might not align with Oatly's sustainability and ethical image. This could mean that whatever support you give to Oatly in favor of the environment might actually be going into the pockets of the people responsible for environmental damage.
I'm the Blackstone Company.
And I can do whatever the I want.
And as if that wasn't disgusting enough, Oatly's marketing campaign, relentlessly declaring superiority over dairy milk, actually damaged the dairy industry.
Just like the rest of you, I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better. I am better.
Leading to multiple farmers losing their jobs. Oat of the closet. With all the lies of the oat milk industry splayed out for you to see, it can be quite confusing where to go next. Some hopeful consumers would have loved a dairy-free milk alternative that actually tastes good, but oat milk might be too much of a stretch. But if you still find yourself coming back to oat milk, it's important to choose which brands you buy. When shopping for oat milk, look for options that are unsweetened. They might not taste as good, but your blood sugar levels will thank you for it. Also, keep an eye out for oat milks that use sunflower oil instead of the common canola oil to avoid any unwanted omega-3 fatty acids. But if you ask us, we'll stick with all natural cow's milk.